Midas is another one of the named high-end weapons in the division. It falls under the submachine gun category and is therefore intended for use at close to medium ranges. It's based on the T821 weapon model, which is available in-game as an unnamed variant, but the T821 is also based on the real-world Socimi Type 821, which is a weapon used by NOCS, a SWAT team, part of the Italian police force. The named weapons in the division are unique as they not only come with a fixed set of talents, but they also have a special skin that is unique to that particular weapon and cannot be changed. Midas comes in this bright gold paint that covers the majority of the weapon with a few matte black details around the grip, the sight mount and the front of the gun. As an aside, to anyone who has only recently obtained this weapon, during the division's launch week, the weapon actually had a different talent, but due to it being ridiculously overpowered, it was removed and updated in the most recent patch 1.0.2. You can find a link to a video in the description box down below that shows what Midas was capable of pre-patch, but for the purposes of this review, we're going to focus on the weapon as it exists now. Unlike the weapons covered in the previous two reviews, Midas sadly cannot be crafted. This weapon is a random drop from named enemies within the Dark Zone, so acquiring this is solely down to RNG. If it's something you want, then farm bosses and hope for the best. Do also bear in mind that the stats on the weapon will vary from drop to drop, and the numbers you'll see within this video will of course be bolstered by my attribute distribution. But for illustration purposes, we will be running all tests with the stripped down version of the weapon, no mods applied. This particular model has a base damage value of 9,232, it can fire 550 rounds per minute, and has a base magazine size of 32. Also, being an SMG, this gun comes with a natural critical hit chance bonus, and in this case that sits at 23.5%. On the accuracy side of things, it's a little below average when compared to other weapon archetypes, but it's above average when compared to competing SMGs such as the Vector or the MP5. The reload speed is above average and also slightly faster again than the comparable SMGs, however it does have a relatively low effective range, and the stability, despite what the bar may say, is actually really easy to manage, even without mods, but throw on a small grip and you'll have no trouble grouping your shots. Now another thing that's special about the named high-end weapons over any other high-end variant is that they have a fixed set of weapon talents. The Midas has 3, 2 of which can be unlocked and 1 of which is active at all times. The active talent is Vicious, where your critical hit chance is increased by 13% while at full health. Following on from that, you have Self-Preserved, which requires 1,417 points in firearms and 1,889 points in stamina to unlock. This talent makes it so that critical hits with the weapon heal the user for 3% of the damage dealt. So in this scenario here, you can see that I am not at full health, and landing critical hits gradually heals me the more I shoot. Bear in mind the Midas also has that natural 23.5% critical chance boost, and pair this with something like Pulse to further increase that, and you have a great method to manage your health in combat. And finally, the new talent that replaced the previously overpowered one, Responsive. This requires 2,362 points in firearms and 1,417 in stamina. Damage is increased by 13% when closer than 10 meters to the target. So if we shoot the target at the back of the firing range, you can see we do around 5,300 damage. The numbers do vary a little bit, but 5.3k is a rough average. If we then move over to this target, which is within 10 meters, you can now see that I do 10,432 damage. So it's safe to say, if you're using this weapon, it's best used up close and personal. Now with the talents out of the way, let's run some quick tests in the firing range. Again, with this weapon stripped down, no mods applied, also using it at optimal range, a critical headshot deals 27,541 damage, while a regular headshot deals 15,648 damage. A critical body shot deals 18,361 damage, while a regular body shot deals 10,432. And to give you an idea of how this would perform outside the 10 meter radius, at medium distances a critical headshot deals 21,185 damage, while a regular headshot deals 12,041 damage, and a critical body shot deals 14,146 damage, while a regular body shot deals 8,039, of course factoring in bullet drop-off. Finally, once your magazine is empty, your reload speed comes in at around 3 seconds without mods. Now we've taken a look at the weapon stats, talents and some basic firing range damage numbers, let's run a quick field test with this weapon in a controlled environment. We're going to run through the very first room on the Madison Field Hospital mission on hard mode. The first room has a total of 5 enemies, and we're again going to be using the weapon with no mods applied. The timer starts from the second I set foot through the door, and after running the same room back to back 5 times, the average clear time comes in at around 32 seconds. So, having now taken a look at the weapon and what it can do, the question is, what is it good for and is it worth it? And firstly, the answer is yes, it is worth it. The Midas is actually one of the best named high-end weapons in the game. I've mentioned in my previous reviews when talking about the likes of the Tenebrae or the Liberator that there are far better unnamed high-end options out there, and that those offerings weren't really worth the time and materials in most situations. However, Midas is genuinely a good offering. True, there are still better high-end SMGs out there like the Vector and the Navy MP5, and even the tactical AUG if you can find one, but given that the Midas is a random drop and won't cost you anything but the time to find, then if you get it, it can genuinely be a worthy addition to your arsenal. Sure, it's nowhere near as dominant as it was when it was first obtainable, but the original talent set made it a broken weapon. The way it functions now, however, makes it great for anyone wanting to play the tank. The bonus damage within 10 meters, plus the added healing on crit, means it's a great way to maintain your position up close, whilst also maintaining your health. Sure, it won't out-heal incoming damage, but pair it with a sensible class setup and you're good to go. So if you find this weapon in the Dark Zone, yes, you should definitely extract it, and no, you shouldn't sell or dismantle it. Now, that's it for this weapon review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you tune in next week where I'll be taking a look at the named high-end assault rifle Caduceus. And of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.